everyone, my name is ZeBirdBrain and today we are talking about paperless animation. So for those who didn't know, my first real contact with animation, aside from like silly tryouts in Flash when I was 8 years old or messing around flip books, was on paper. Paper is how I learned the trade and fundamentals back in animation school, roughly 10 years ago. Time flies. So even when working digitally, my process is still really close to paper in its roots. And I'm not saying in any way that paper animation is better than digital. Oh heck no. But there was a lot of very simple things we used to do on paper that most animation software today really seems to struggle to digitalize. Take tracing as an example. Back in the days, if we needed to use a certain drawing as reference and like trace over it, well, we would simply take that drawing out of the peg bar and shift it around and place it and then trace it. This might sound like a giver, but surprisingly, it's not that easy to do in most modern animation software. Luckily for us, Harmony has a very nice tool to do that, and it's called the Shift and Trace tool. You know, because you shift and trace the drawing. So today we will learn how to activate the Shift and Trace tool, how to manipulate it, and why it's useful. So here's how it works. So Shift and Trace can be activated in different ways. You can get it either from the toolbar, which is located right here. It's called Shift and Trace. You can click it and it will appear in your toolbar. You can also get it from the main toolbar here. Usually there's a little hand, but if you click, you will see Shift and Trace. This is just another way to activate it. And as you activate the Shift and Trace, the tool property window will also change to fit that tool. So as you can see right now, Harmony's Shift and Trace tool uses the onion skin and the advanced onion skin to do its magic. So be sure to give my video on the onion skin tool a good watch. So once you click on the icon and you activate the Shift and Trace tool, your drawing will now have a blue bounding box. And pegs! This means your drawing is ready to be shift and traced. You can now take your current drawing and move it on top of your onion skin's ghost frames to be able to trace it and see if your art is on model. So I can take my bird here and maybe try to move it on top of my old onion skin to be able to trace it. I tend to use that a lot with only my key drawings active to be able to trace my key poses without them losing like weight or mass as I prepare my animation to be tweaked. So now we're going to learn how to move your drawing. So by default, the tools allow you to move your current drawing on top of the other ones. But if you want the opposite, and if you prefer to have your onion skin's drawing shift and traced instead, simply select the other drawing by pressing on Control and clicking on it. So this will then unselect your old drawing and select the new one instead, and you can then move it. If you want to select multiple drawings, you can also press on Shift and click on another one, so then you can move these two at the same time. And if you want to unselect one of them, you can press on Alt Shift to unselect one, and then you're going to move the two others. When using Shift and Trace tool, drawings are not permanently modified. This is why it's so great of a tool, because if you move your drawings using pegs to move them around, if you forget to remove that peg in the end and you go to render, well, you can mess up your whole animation with that tiny mistake. The great thing with Shift and Trace tool is that if I move this drawing around and I maybe rotate it and stuff to be able to trace it, if I press on render, the drawing will go back in its original position for any renders that you're going to do. So it's a non-destructive way to move your drawings around. So speaking of moving your drawings around, you can use the bounding box around your drawing to shift your drawing around. You can also rotate by going in the corner until you see that little icon and just rotate it. You can also grab this if it's easier. And of course, if you grab the corner, you can scale up and down your drawing. If you want, you can also do it using the peg bars. So the circle is the translate, and the two rectangles on the side are there to rotate your drawing. So once you're done shift and tracing, if you want your drawings to go back in their original position, it's super easy. You just go to the Shift and Trace toolbar, and you can press on one of these icons. This one is to reset only one drawing, and this one is to reset all your drawings. You can note that all these icons are also available in the tool property window. So speaking of this window, there is some things you can customize. So if you're used to seeing your peg bar on top of your drawing instead of under, you can go here, and you can change the location of your pegs. So, a little bonus here. So crosshairs are visual indicators that you can add to a drawing when using the Shift and Trace tool to be sure that you are shift and tracing that drawing very well. This is good if you have two drawings that are very close to each other. Personally, I tend to add short hairs simply to make my drawing easier to be selected, but apparently this can serve as a quick visual indicator of how much the current drawing and the other drawings in your onion skin range are offsetted from each other. So that's it for the Shift and Trace tool. I hope that you will be able to use it a lot in your project, and I hope that you're gonna like it as much as I do. So with that, I hope you had fun, and I wish you a very nice day.